You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this episode, we're talking about Ted Lasso, the World Series, and why no one knowing anything is a good thing.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. This episode is brought to you by people like Kathy Rose Monahan, Carolyn Strait, and Joan Graff. Their membership in the Wonder and Whimsy Society support this and this work to fight adultitis.
Yes, if you'd like to annihilate the adultitis in your life, learn more about the Wonder and Whimsy Society, or be among the first to know about our newest offerings, please subscribe at escapeadulthood.com/subscribe to The Insider.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Happy Wednesday. Who stayed up for the World Series last night?
We did.
We did. And maybe that's a surprise to some because they're like, well, the Cubs weren't playing. I think most people know we're Cubs fans, right?
I'm a sports fan. I like championships no matter what. We were rooting for the Braves. I think our whole household was.
Yeah.
But I don't think you guys cared that much, but Ben and I were kind of watching it and watching the playoffs. So yeah, it was kind of fun. It's got a lot of Tiger fans, a lot of Michigan contingent here tonight.
Yes, a lot of Michigan. I love Victoria, the Rockford Peaches. There's no crying in baseball. We should show. Is that age appropriate for our kids to watch it?
I don't know. I have to look into that, but that'd be a good one. I was wondering if anyone. Hey, Scott. I was wondering if anyone would pick a minor league team or a non-major league team. I don't think anyone did, other than the Rockford Peaches.
There's fans in Madison of the Mallards. That's what team was actually just a couple miles, not even a couple miles from our house. So that was always fun.
Yes,
to go to the Mallards game.
Curious. I'm sure there might be. We got a Twins. Got a Twins fan in the house.
Right, Ellen.
Yeah, well, I'm curious if anyone has any understanding of the reference of my T-shirt tonight. It's a little bit of a
I'm guessing
homage.
Maybe Mary Beth, because she did mention, and this is going to be a hint, that she was Cubs fan.
Yes.
So if you happen to know what Jason's shirt means, it does have to do with baseball, and we'd love to see who can guess it first.
Yes, I want to point out Martha says loving the Ted Lasso picture in the background. And I want to see if I can hook this up.
We haven't done this.
Give you guys the
we just
close
did this
up.
at a gig the other day. We used this.
It's been a while.
This remote camera.
Here we go. Let's see. Is it
Oh yeah,
okay.
Sweet.
So obviously anyone who doesn't know Ted Lasso will not understand any of this. But of course we've got Ted with the Believe sign. You know, Coach Beard, Rebecca, Keeley. Oy.
Oh, he's like our favorite, isn't he? Oh my gosh.
Jamie Tart, Sam. Then over here we've got Nate the Great, Higgins, Sharon, and one of Kim's favorites.
Football is life.
Danny.
I love Danny.
Life, so.
And, I have to say, we were talking about the different characters that he was going to choose to put on there. And maybe he could have done like 5 or 6, but then those outside characters on the edges, it's like they're beloved, right?
Not sure. Yeah, some of the other guys on the team we could have put in. The 3 guys at the bar you could have put in.
Oh my gosh,
could have went for it. But the reason I have Ted Lasso up, it kind of fits tonight's theme, as it were. As Kim, I was joking with her at the beginning that I didn't think she'd be able to get the opening line that I wrote.
A little tough.
that she nailed of why no one knowing anything is a good thing. Which I thought was pretty clever, but it is tricky to
Martha's
say.
wondering if this is going to be at gallery night.
Ooh, that's a good. You're a step ahead of me. So Ted Lasso, what stands out to me besides the show and the fact that we love it is the fact that it was kind of a surprise hit. It wasn't expected. I mean, Jason Sudeikis was thrilled to get the opportunity from Apple to make the show, and I think it took a lot of people by surprise by what a surprise hit it was. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that, how the experts are often wrong, and not just when it comes to entertainment. I'm sure we can all pick examples of where the people who are supposed to know stuff didn't know stuff, and what to do about that, because I think it's actually a good thing if you reframe it in a certain way. But yes, a little bit of
Martha, you see, or a prize for tonight's question. Oh,
well, that leads us into tonight's studio sneak peek. So yes, gallery night is coming. It's a few weeks away, November 17th.
Yes.
Let me see, I got it right here. Yep, November 17th, gallery night. It's basically the show, but superseded for a special edition of this show, which is gallery night, where we are going to be releasing a little short film that I'm making that tells the story of my most recent series of paintings based on the Beatles song Here Comes the Sun. And we have some other, like that night we'll be kicking off an auction that is going to last a few days. So if you don't make it live that night, you'll have a couple days to check out what's on offer. But we did want to share a few things. So this thing is about done. There's actually a few more things I need to do with it, but I ran out of time before to the show, so I framed it up, and I've just got to do some little detail work. But yes, this is an original watercolor painting that will be for auction on gallery night. So I'm excited about that. Another thing I'm excited about, some of you have the Celebrate Everything calendar, the 2022 version. You guys know that there is a certain sea turtle on the cover of that artwork. So one of my favorite things to do with gallery night is to find cool things to put my art on that you can't get anywhere else. We don't sell them on our store. We only have one off. So, of course, original paintings fit that bill. But wait till you guys see this. This is from a company called PixArt. And basically what they do is you can give them an image and they turn it into like Lego art. So
I'm glad Scott's on tonight because you got to see this, Scott. Your mind's gonna be blown.
If you win this, you will get this entire box. Okay. And let me go back to here so we can get the whole screen. And it says, "Hello, PixArtist." And if you look here, this is the sea turtle broken down into 4 panels. This is 20 by 20. So it comes with the 4 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Mm-hmm. All the way over. Yep. And it's got this guide. And then it's just, I couldn't believe this. It's filled with colorful packets.
It's like Ben's dream.
Bricks. So this is chocolate, peach, cornflower, rhino.
I know, right?
This is tremendous. And then what's kind of cool, then they have these... the instructions here that you'll get an idea of. I don't know how many pieces. This is like
they have different
thousands and thousands of pieces. So then they have these little guides that tell you what color goes where, and if this isn't the most rad thing
and it
ever,
just recreates that painting, which is mind blowing.
So I'm super excited about this. I have no idea what the interest will be on this, but I immediately wanted to put it together myself.
Well, Paul says, "Oh my gosh." I know, it is shocking. I don't know. This is the joke. Like, it's shocking and awesome and cool and amazing, and this technology is wonderful. Does anyone want it? We have no idea.
That is the thing. We'll see. I'll tell you right now, my son Ben is hoping no one wants it.
I know.
Because he wants to put it together.
Right up his alley.
And it was kind of a challenge because I had to pick art that didn't have words in it. Because as you could imagine, the words don't really translate to these little Lego pixels or whatever. So that seemed to be a good one. That it matched the calendar, and
so Paul does one. Okay, good to know. We don't know. We don't know how many people are super into Lego in our tribe. You would assume.
Kristen says everyone else doesn't like it. I guess I'll take it.
So here's a question for you that kind of is going to be kind of a setup for the next thing you're going to show. I've been talking with some different people who came to the Escape Adulthood Summit in August, and we were talking about one of the talks that Jason gave at the summit, and it was revealing these pieces of art that your film is about. What's the difference between what they heard at the summit and what they're going to experience at gallery night.
Well, there's something different about giving a talk in front of a live audience, being on stage and looking people in the eye. And I shared the paintings and told stories about each of the paintings. But I kind of thought that would be a little boring in video form. So what I decided to do was basically tell the story through film. And so part of it is me telling the story, but there's a lot of other images, moving, movies and details of. I tell a story about sitting on the bench overlooking Lake Michigan, the moment when I realized that Sheboygan was going to be our home, and so I have a video of that bench, and we have video of the actual backyard that was kind of inspired by one of my paintings, and there's music, and there's just, I don't know. You saw the first part of it. I'm racing to try to get it all finished. But you maybe can speak to like what your premise was, what you saw.
So I did get a sneak peek, which I shared in my Whimsy Wednesday post today on the Escape Adulthood League. And I have to tell you, I was like tearing up. I was like emotional because there is something powerful about kind of like that background music and kind of that. It's not like a documentary. It is more like a film where you have like visual representation of the story that you're telling. And there is something about how that sweeps you away a little bit. Not that you on stage didn't do that as well. As Kate says, Kate brought Jason in this past week, in fact, at Lambeau Field for a program. Thank you, Kate. But the concept of like kind of being swept into this, cinematography of it all is going to be a pretty powerful night. So just get ready. I'm excited. It's going to be definitely something to invite a friend or two to join you, if not together, or maybe virtually, just kind of text back and forth and share the experience, right?
Well, and that's the thing that we tried to do is, even though these paintings tell our personal story, the stories behind them are really universal. And I think that's what you were kind of alluding to in your post today, was the idea that if you are a person who has had a big dream, and to be honest, sometimes when you have a really big dream, it can feel like a really big burden because it's hard and takes a long time and it feels impossible. And sometimes, I mean, frankly, I admit this in the story, that I wished, if you remember Harry Potter and they have the spell that you could have your memory erased. There were times where I wished that I could have my memory modified and that dream just erased out of my head because it was too painful to keep going and not having achieved it. And it just felt like it was just torture. And so I think it'll really resonate with anyone who has a big dream or maybe needs to jumpstart that big dream that's been on the shelf for a while, because there'll be a lot of encouragement and hopefully some inspiration.
And for those who are like, I do not have a big dream, because there's different personality types, right? I know we range in how we dream. This might just be a seed plant for a possible dream that is calling you. So it's kind of exciting no matter where you're at on your journey. Paul asks a really good question. He said, did Lucy help? Because Lucy's been really into movie editing. In this case, she hasn't been helping. No. She's got quite the side hustles going right now, Paul, as you know, from Facebook, but also between her horse, she's got dog walking and horses and everything else. So you've been solo on this project.
Yep. And I actually have one more thing to share that I think is pretty cool. So the Ted Lasso, the turtle art is separate from the Here Comes the Sun series, which is the primary thing that I'll be introducing. So I wanted to share something from that. And one of the things I love to do is like think about what the theme of the paintings are and think about what's something different I can do with this. So because this series of paintings was very much inspired by Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles, I wanted to come up with some creative musical themed gifts and auction items. And
so you recorded yourself singing?
Yeah, so that's going to be on auction, is me singing Here Comes the Sun. bidding price starts at -$20. So you can basically, if you win that means I pay you to take it. No. But what I did here is I decided to make an album. And so I have an album here that has the I guess the key image. Here Comes the Sun. Mm-hmm. And on the back, it's got the other 8 paintings. And what's kind of neat about this particular album cover is if you open it up, what could this be? It actually is the Abbey Road album, the legit vinyl Abbey Road record with Here Comes the Sun, and of course every other song that they included on that. So you're basically getting a Beatles record, vinyl, Here Comes the Sun. It's got all of the songs, and it will be signed by me. The album cover, and the album cover turned out really cool.
Neat.
The quality is
it's so cool that
really
this is even an option, you guys. How awesome to be in 2021 where you can create Legos of your art, you could create album covers of your art, right?
Yep.
It's so rad.
So this is cool. There's only one. There's only one of these, and almost all of the things that we'll have at Gallery Night, there's only one.
Martha asks a good question. Does it come with a record player? No, but
no,
we have
it does
a good
not.
recommendation if you're looking to get one, because we bought one when we moved into this house, and it has a CD player, it has a cassette tape in it, which we haven't used yet, but there's maybe a day for that.
Yep.
Old mixtapes. We do have some of our old mixtapes. Mm-hmm. And it's a fun little record player, real retro looking. So if you ever need a tip, we'll give you a tip on that.
Yeah. So I hope you will join us on November 17th. What is that, 2 weeks away? Is that right?
So is it
2 weeks from today?
Already?
So
How
it's
is it November 3rd, you guys?
Awesome.
Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, 2 weeks from tonight. So mark your calendars. Do not miss it. You're not going to want to miss it. But more on that next week.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
In July, the front office of my beloved Chicago Cubs ripped my heart out, stomped on it, and threw the shards into Lake Michigan. Okay, maybe it only felt that way when they traded away all 3 of my favorite players, iconic heroes who helped end a 108-year World Series drought. Truthfully, I actually agreed with what they did. The team was 50-55 and appeared to be heading nowhere, especially after a massive losing streak that dropped them from first place to 4th in the standings. With all 3 players headed to free agency at season's end, most analysts considered it a smart move to get some value for them through trades rather than risk getting nothing if they signed elsewhere, especially if you assumed you weren't going to make the playoffs by keeping them around. Now, on that same day, the Atlanta Braves were 51-54. With 57 games to play, they were only 1 game better than the Cubs. Now, they had a clear path to the playoffs, but had recently lost their best outfielder for the remainder of the season. Instead of giving up on a playoff run, they doubled down and made a flurry of trades to bolster their team and revamp their outfield. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Giants and Los Angeles Dodgers were widely considered 2 of the best teams in baseball. They ended up winning 107 and 106 games respectively, which is really, really good. They faced off in the playoffs, and experts expected that the winner of that would waltz into the World Series. Except they didn't. The Dodgers beat the Giants, but were felled by none other than the underdog Braves, who were on life support just a few months earlier. Not one expert predicted the Braves to win the World Series back in July. But they did. The point I'd like to make is that nobody knows anything. That's why they play the game, and that's why I enjoy watching sports. Now, thanks for enduring my baseball analogy, because of course this point applies to more than just sports. Christopher Bullock was probably right when he wrote, "'Tis impossible to be sure of anything but death and taxes." I am old enough to remember when every major pundit expected Hillary Clinton and Rudy Giuliani to face off against each other in the 2008 presidential election. Apparently, Barack Obama and John McCain didn't get that memo. 2 decades ago, lots of people thought Y2K would ruin us. Many of those same people never saw COVID-19 coming. Sometimes our predictions do come out exactly the way we expected. But even still, no matter how confident we may be, we just never know for sure. Sometimes things are going along fine, and then a boat gets stuck in a canal somewhere and everything goes wonky. No one knows anything. There are lessons we can take from this. First, when things are going along well, appreciate it. There's always something to be grateful for in each and every day. Savor the good, because things could go south on a dime. Now, if that's too pessimistic for you, remember the inverse is also true. You may be surprised and delighted by how much better things turn out than you expected. Sometimes worst-case scenarios transform into unexpected blessings. Here is the real tragedy. Whether it's making the playoffs or making a great life for ourselves, sometimes fear, dire predictions, and the low expectations of people in our life hold us back from even trying. Don't put too much stock in experts, no matter how fancy they dress, or how many letters are after their name, or how much DNA you share with them. They may be smarter than you, they may have more experience than you, but they still might end up being really, really wrong. And be careful. You might be wrong too. Of all the fears you've worried about in your life, I'll bet most of them never came to pass. And the ones that did, I'm certain that most of them were not nearly as catastrophic as you may have imagined. They may have even made you a little bit better. So yes, you might be on a losing streak, a long one perhaps. Maybe the odds are stacked against you, but maybe tomorrow is the day the tide turns. Maybe tomorrow is the day everything changes. Maybe tomorrow a winning streak begins. You never know. No one knows anything. And that's why you play the game.
Okay, admit it. Who smiled really big when they saw that baseball with Jason's little smile on it? Just me? Was it just me? Or I was like, oh.
So cute. Little cute.
It was cute. Well, this kind of makes me feel like this is a total setup. This is like a lob into like an underhand throw to gallery night, what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It kind of opens up this possibility of what could be true for you in a year.
Yeah,
right?
it last March when COVID hit, the pandemic, the lockdown started. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm still.
Did you mean last March?
You know what I meant. Everyone knows what I meant. 17 fourscore and 30 million years ago.
Time.
Yeah, when the pandemic hit,
Time.
2020. Let's go there. 2020. If someone would have said, "Oh, by the way, by the end of the year, you'll be have an accepted offer to buy your dream home," I think I would have thought that the person was mean, just kind of like
Definitely.
rubbing in,
Yeah,
just being a jerk about it because it didn't seem
right.
possible at all. Like heck, in October, things happened that felt like, well, I guess that's over. Guess that's done. That's not going to work. So it's pretty crazy how quickly things can turn. So yeah, and on the flip side, I mean, we know a family member who's struggling with cancer right now and is not looking great. And it's the reminders like that help me to see like, you know, I can be upset about little things, but there's always a lot to be grateful for. And of course, this month with Thanksgiving around the corner, that's always, you can't be reminded of that enough to realize that no one knows anything, really. But we can use that to our advantage and we can use that to be more mindful. So that's the goal.
It's good.
Meanwhile, I think after all that, I have one thing to say. Let's draw. All right, well, I'm going to admit something a little silly. The idea that I had for Let's Draw tonight, I realized about 15 minutes before we pushed live that I'd already done it before.
It came real easy to you, huh?
So now we got reruns going on, and so at the last minute I thought of something different to draw. So
at least it won't be as creepy as last week.
It's not going to be. Yeah, what was with that guy? Where'd you get him from?
I wasn't here, but I heard about it.
It's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. We had some substitutes last week, so we could take the week off.
I did wonder what this little hand-drawn
There's
Joker
clues.
card.
I know.
I don't know what that's about. But all right, so what we're gonna do to start out tonight is we're gonna draw a couple lines, a couple long lines, about like that. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna make it go straight. Okay, and I'm gonna draw 2. And the thing with this is they're almost parallel, but they're actually going to get a little bit closer together towards the bottom. Like that. All right.
Interesting.
So, and the angle here doesn't matter. It's okay if your angle is a little bit different, if it's up or down. Just get it reasonably close with one end semi closer to the other than it is at the other end. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle right about here. Okay. And then we're going to round off this top part like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to round it off. And then we're going to kind of draw a backward C. Kind of like that. All right, so it was pretty good. Kara's got the idea down that we're doing a baseball bat here.
And first, I thought it was maybe the start of a division sign.
Division sign? Yeah, that's me and
Ed
math.
Sheeran album cover.
So with this, we're gonna add some personality to this guy. So I'm gonna draw some little less than and greater signs, like that.
You are doing that.
I know I am, right? All of a sudden.
What just happened?
And then I'm going to draw a oval right here. And then we'll draw a straight line. And then a couple vertical lines with little teeth. He's like cringing there, as you would too. And then we'll draw the little stitches over on each side. So we got this baseball going. Then what we'll do is we're going to draw... just like this, a couple bursts on like that. It's almost like waves in a way. And then we're going to do some on this side too.
Jennifer says the crack of the bat.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we're gonna do a little face on this guy too. Let's do a couple eyes. And then I think
he's not sure. Oh.
He's got a little tongue sticking out because he's thinking, he's concentrating on hitting that ball. And then we'll do another curvy line here. We'll put some tape on here just to kind of give it some more depth, I guess. And then I think what I'll do, we'll have some fun. Remember, so this will be kind of fitting. Last week we were talking about Batman and the 1960s Batman show. And remember when they would punch people?
Oh yeah.
And then there'd be like this sound, like this word. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna put a word here. We'll do like maybe whack. Mm-hmm. And so kind of make it in bold. This is kind of a cartoonist trick, right? Is you make the letters, the font that you use to kind of match the sound. So if you can imagine if it was like a really quiet sound, I might make it really small, real thin, like a whisper. But this is kind of a big crack of the bat, so whack.
Jennifer says Michael Jordan tongue. And he did play baseball.
Yes,
which
is correct.
Quite interesting. Yes, Ben, our middle guy, has been curious about Michael Jordan, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that came
from. Gotta introduce him to some of his. Well, we did watch a highlight film one time. We were trying to realize we had fallen down in the role of parenting and have not really given them the full
aspects of
experience.
Sports of there's certain sports figures that's just you should kind of know about who these people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's
we do pretty good on music, like with Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley, and some of those classic.
It's just history, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is cool. I like it with the green background.
And then we'll do a little. We'll color in this. Oops.
Good to see you tonight, Nick. Nick Wesson's on.
Oh, hey, Nick.
I know. And Paul says kapow. That would have been a good one,
yep,
too.
That's
that
a good one.
Good.
It's a good one.
Right. Martha, I think she's referencing some college background in Michael Jordan. First and always a Tar Heel.
Oh yeah, North Carolina. Yep.
Oh, that's right. I knew that because they would always announce that when they said his name, right? When they would like announce his name from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yes.
6'6".
We're dating ourselves. That was like our youth.
Yep, that's when I thought the Bulls were always good. All right, so we have a little shading there. We'll get a little bit of gray and extend the shading here, and then we'll just make that little tongue stick out. It's really tiny, but we'll do that.
Emphasize. Oh, a little pink tongue.
And then I think
awesome.
we'll make a little highlight on the other end, other side of the bat.
Nick says, "Let me try that again. I missed the drawing with Jason. Nice to get out of the world of adulting."
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, and then let's see. In this case, we'll just add a little fun detail. I'm just going to outline this. Like I said, this was kind of a last-minute idea. I was going to do the bat or the ball and the glove, which I realized I had already done, and I knew. You know who I knew? I knew Steven.
Oh, Steven's here tonight.
I knew Steven,
he made it, yeah.
And I knew Jenna would be for sure among the people to call me out that I had already done that, and I didn't want to hear it tonight. All right? I didn't want to hear it tonight.
They're just keeping you accountable.
I know.
Ooh, that blue.
I often make a point to know that Jenna knows more about the history of this business and things I have done in my professional life more than I do. So.
It's good to have
is
a
good curator of all that is Escape Adulthood.
It's true.
So there you go. Little fun bat and ball, home run, whack.
Send in yours. We want to see yours so we can share them next week on the show.
It reminds me of
KJ@escapeadulthood.com.
Yes, please do. Reminds me of the home run that Jorge Soler hit last night that hit out of the stadium. That gave the Braves a 3-run lead that they would not relinquish. So that was kind of exciting. And thank you for joining us. As Kim said, send that to kj@escapeadulthood.com. We got some fun drawings from last week. A little bit of a interesting approach on some of these. So Martha did Batgirl, which was pretty much what we did. Now, I noticed she did the red lips.
Yeah, this is interesting.
She did it a little bit different than...
I do see her loyalty.
Than the guy last week suggested.
The guy last week.
So...
What am I looking for? I don't think I... Oh, yeah, I do. We did have some debate. No, our guests last week had a little debate on how to finish the drawing. And I like that Martha went with the choice that she did. Thank you, Martha.
It's fine. Meanwhile, Steven went with Batman.
Look at this.
He took things to a whole nother level. Obviously didn't need my guidance last week on that one. That looks great. And then Jennifer always brings the Marty in there. So she did Marty with a little cat mask.
So and cute little bat symbol.
Happy Halloween.
Got her little green Wonder Marty.
Pretty fun little take on that one. I love seeing the little twists you guys add. So... please send your drawings to kj@escapeadulthood.com. Love seeing them. Maybe your drawing will end up on the show next week. Well, in respect to the World Series, I thought this was a good meme. When you get to Chick-fil-A, only to realize it's Sunday. I respect their stance, but it is a little bit of a blow when you're really craving a Chick-fil-A and you don't get to.
By the way, Walt and Linda, your parents are going to be getting a Chick-fil-A in Janesville.
Oof.
So life-changing.
I'm
sure you already knew that, but
I didn't see that.
It's a game changer.
Okay, well, we talked about a little bit. Just wanted to share a little Halloween hijinks. So last week you saw we were the Joker and Batgirl, and this is what the kids ended up as. We had
now you could see the full picture of Rose's hair now, right?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a DC battle, as you can see there. So we had Ben as Aquaman, and he made that little trident all by himself with dowel rods and hot glue and tape
And
gold
duct
tape.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that was a Goodwill sweater. And then some green sweatpants. I mean, it looks pretty good.
I know.
It's pretty good.
That was his vision.
Of course, there's Harley Quinn. She had this hammer. Jenna helped her make it. That little hammer. So there's me and Harley Quinn.
Her sweatshirt was also a Goodwill find. We're trying, guys. We're trying to teach these kids to be resourceful.
Yes.
You can't just go buy your $100 costume every time.
Yeah.
Right.
And then here's Lucy. She kind of broke with the rest of us, which was fine. But she wanted to be kind of a Day of the Dead sugar skull, and a little close up on the makeup job.
Jason, you did good on the makeup, and lots of compliments out on social of who did her makeup, and I'm like, Jason.
I did her makeup, and then I had to do my own makeup after that, so it wasn't as detailed as I was on the show. I did more of the Heath Ledger version of the Joker.
I liked it.
But here, this one stole the show for everybody. Sue and Jenna went as breakfast. Best friends forever. You see Jenna with the bacon and eggs. Sue is toaster with toast.
Seriously.
And I cannot tell you how many people. It was kind of cool. A lot of the people that were handing out candy were sitting outside.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a normal thing, if that's a COVID thing, or it's a Sheboygan thing, or what. But it was really cool. And the trick or treating here was from 4 to 7, right? So we got there about 5 o'clock or so before it started to get dark. And I gotta say, it was the most fun I've ever had trick-or-treating. The costumes were fun, but I just felt like people were into it.
Yeah,
I don't know, the people giving out the candy.
Eating fire.
Oh yeah,
we should have
there's a fire eater.
Just a lady handing out candy. She's literally and we're like, what? What is happening? And then a lot of people in costumes. So you met Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. We actually saw the It Clown.
Yeah. I wanted to get a picture.
He was pretty popular. The other way. People were getting pictures with them. And then what was the other one that was really big? Oh, we saw
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Someone asked who was that. We don't know.
I made
some person.
At least 3 kids cry as the Joker.
Joke. I think more than that.
I didn't even try. I was just standing there.
In the age range of 2 to 4, not happy with his costume.
I was trying to find a Batman. All the Batmans I found were 3 years old, and towards the end there was a little Batman, and I said "There's Batman," and he took off running.
His mom and dad were laughing pretty hard.
I didn't.
I hope we didn't scar him for life. That could have been bad. But there's also a couple houses handing out the full-size candy bars, which we have pledged that when our kids are grown, that's going to be us. That will be fun to do.
Jane says, I thought you looked creepy. You scared me.
I know.
Martha said, Jason almost made me cry.
I know. He really got into the character, which... maybe Jennifer Tackett as a therapist can speak to us a little bit about what's going on there. I don't know.
Well, Tracy, you scared me at first. Yeah, well. And then Christy says her 3-year-old said you were scary, but they liked Batgirl.
Aww.
As they
Your
should.
3-year-olds. By the way, Jenna makes these costumes. Props to Jenna. She's the cardboard queen. Maybe you guys know that, but we should have actually a little Halloween parade of just Jenna's costumes over the years.
Yeah.
One year she was a Lego Batman, was it?
Yep, and Sue was a Lego Wonder Woman.
Box,
One time they were trees and had a hammock stretched between them with a dude in the hammock. That was...
And was that all because it was raining and was the trees kind of was it built out of the umbrellas? I can't remember. It might have been a rain.
I don't know about that.
Anyway.
That was a while ago. But so
there were... These days we'll share all of her costumes.
A number of people who had their Halloween night made by Jenna and Sue.
They're is that a toaster? Is that bacon?
It was great. But it was a fun night. Hope you guys had a good Halloween if you celebrated.
Umbrella trees. Okay, I wasn't making that up.
Okay.
And by the way, Jennifer says he released his inner stress. So I think you're right. I think you really had a lot buried deep in you, and I saw all of it, and I'm never gonna be the same.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger,
it's gonna get it out, right?
I was the Joker when I was younger. I've always had an affinity for that character, and
can you dig that picture up for next week?
Maybe. I have to think where it is.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, so that was good. But also want to talk today in the Adultitis Fighters Unite segment about October's Adultitis Fighter of the Month, Julie Brown. Here she is with her favorite clown. Speaking of clowns, she is a big-time fan and employee of McDonald's.
Which is how we met her, by the way, working with McDonald's.
Yes, I spoke at, what do they call it?
Hamburger University in Chicago, yes.
Yeah, and got a really cool picture with this Ronald McDonald statue and spoke to the team there. So that was pretty rad. But she is long overdue to be named the Adultitis Fighter of the Month, and she has a couple things that she shared that I wanted to pass along. One of the things she does for fighting adultitis is finding ways to laugh while she's stuck in traffic so that she arrives at work or home in the right mindset to finish or start the day. Then she has some advice on someone who's feeling overwhelmed with adultitis. She says, pick up and play a game you loved as a kid. She still has her original Game Boy with Tetris.
Oh, that's awesome.
She says, don't have it or it requires multiple people. Find and listen to a comedian to make you laugh.
Nice.
And then she says, can't find one, don't like laughing, volunteer. So you want to fight adultitis? Volunteer. She says, I guarantee this will make you realize there are a lot of other people that are in greater need and you are blessed. So
she's told me about some of her volunteer work. It's pretty awesome.
Very creative and effective way to fight adultitis that is often overlooked here. Then we ask who is her greatest influence in her own fight against adultitis, and she says her mom. And this is a classic picture that she did with her mom from one of those photo booths.
Yeah,
it was like a series of 4. And she said, she taught me how to play with my food versus telling me not to play with it. To this day, I still toss my salad throughout the entire meal without even realizing it. I love that. And she says, Mom also understood when I had schoolitis. She'd call in an excused absence and we'd spend the day together.
What? Oh.
That's a pro move right there, Mom. That is a pro move. Something she loved doing as a kid that she still does today is coloring and playing with the dogs. And most recently, she and her mom just finished stamping and coloring our 6th volume of the Family Favorites cookbook. We try not to repeat recipes, only a few have been repeated, or stamps, since she has something like 1,000. No joke, she says, stamps. And we've only repeated 2 stamps from what I can tell. So I love that. The idea of creating a project, like a series, that they've done this series of handmade recipe books on the 6 volumes. So that's kind of a cool thing. You find a friend, find a sibling, a parent, someone to do a project with. That's pretty cool. And then finally, she said, attitude is a choice. I think this is a good reminder. I choose to look for the silver lining in the thunderclouds. There are lessons to be learned in both the best and worst of times. So,
yay. Congratulations, Julie. And I have to tell you, when I think of Julie fighting adultitis, I think of her and her mom together. So that photo there is pretty special. I don't even know if they have those photo booths in that traditional way anymore with the little strip of photos. But
you have to find a mall first, which can be tricky.
What's that now? What's that called?
Where they go anywhere.
I literally had this conversation with the kids the other day. I'm like, okay, you know how me and Dad are always like, yeah, we used to have bag phones. And like, what's bag phones? I'm like, you're going to have that conversation with your kids about the mall. Like, probably they will not know your kids won't know what a mall is. And then you have to tell them. And they'll be like, what? You didn't just buy your stuff online? Why would you go in someplace? And all the stores were together? I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of those, just like we had.
Right.
You know. So okay. Well, we do have a giveaway tonight. It's not the Ted Lasso painting, but it is. It's still fun. It's still a good one. All right. In order to win tonight's prize, we were talking about experts and how experts are often wrong when they make these predictions. I thought it'd be kind of fun. This isn't really a question, it's a challenge to make a bold prediction that's probably wrong.
Oh, so maybe I just did that with the malls.
Yeah.
You know? Like, in terms of, no malls are going to make it.
It's not really that bold. I think you guys can do better than that. Like, a little bit more fun and whimsical than just...
I'm just saying, a bold prediction.
Lame prediction that's probably going to be true, frankly. I mean, come on.
All right, you
guys. All right, Nick. You didn't... Come on, now.
Oh, a bold prediction that is probably wrong.
That just cuts. That hurts. That hurts. When should I tell people what I did at Lambeau Field the other day? Or should we share that, or should we save it for another show?
Katie is watching, so I'm not sure. But Jason may or may not have hid something in Lambeau Field related to the Bears.
It's like cursed it. Basically, what I did is I cursed the pack.
Oh,
I think it worked.
No!
I think it worked. We just found out today that Aaron Rodgers has COVID. Hope he recovers fine.
We do not wish him ill.
He is out for the next game, and I can only imagine that I'm probably to blame for that.
Oh my gosh, we did not make that connection. Wow. Okay.
Not
sorry,
saying
we're
I'm
having
just
a
saying.
little side conversation
We'll share that maybe another time. We'll share that another time.
Oh no, Paul McCartney died. Is that for real? Oh, is that part of her bold
I don't know
prediction?
if that's a prediction.
Make a bold
that's
prediction.
a past. That's past. I hope not. Anyway,
all right.
let's get to this.
Okay, I see that Amazon goes out of business. Was that that is a bold prediction?
Here's a good one.
Wrong.
See, this is what I was hoping for.
Okay.
Elvis will die in the year 2045. That's
all right. Nicely done, Kristen.
Jason for president. Gas prices are going to drop by $2 tomorrow. That would be nice.
Oh, that's definitely wrong.
Jason will go into space in the next year.
That's interesting.
As president. Savannah will have snow this year. Hey, never know, Mary. Never know.
You can make a snowman, right?
Everyone will have pet unicorns next year.
That would be nice. Roe would approve.
Yeah, Kate says that's why Rodgers is out. That is pretty freaky.
I'm sorry, Kate.
It.
We didn't really mean it. I mean, we meant something.
Michelle says Wisconsin will be sunny and in the 80s
tomorrow.
Oh
man, right?
If anyone wants me to tell the story of what I did at Lambeau Field, let me know in the comments, because maybe people aren't interested. But if they are, then I will share it next week, and I'll share pictures, because I do have pictures. This year for winter, it will not be snow, but cotton candy.
Yes. Oh, you should come to our house, Tracy.
I'm down for that.
Just drive south, because we got a lot of candy here. We can help you.
Amazon goes out of business. Yeah, that's how it works in our house for Halloween. Is that night they bring home, and I tell the kids, I'm like, you can eat all of it. You can eat any of it. Like, it's kind of like the
free night.
The free night. It's like yes night. And they do, like, mostly Ben does.
No, Lucy. She ate like 20.
Lucy did too. But then now 90% of it will be here till Easter. That's the weird thing.
And just between you and us, we just eat out of it, and they don't even know.
Well, that's the 10% is what we sneak in the next week. So, okay, what do we got? Yes, we got Amazon goes out of business, right?
Yeah.
Brian, my wife, will win the Powerball lotto tonight. I hope so. That's
exciting for you guys.
Kate says we can still be friends. He's not my favorite.
Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking about that. Like, it's possible for Aaron Rodgers to be amazingly good at football and a total jerk that I hate. Both can be true.
That could be true.
I think sometimes you like hate a player and you say they suck. It's like, no, he's amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah.
I don't like him. I didn't. Brett Favre was also amazing, but I didn't
not like him.
I hated him as a Bears fan because he kicked our butt. Similar to a friend of mine felt about Walter Payton. It was like, oh, you could not love Walter Payton, but you hated playing him, and that's how I felt about Brett Favre. But
Martha's that actually might happen, right?
That is happening. Yes, Facebook will change its name.
Yeah.
Meta. Meta. That's what it's going to be called. That's a whole nother show. Hildy, when everyone wakes up New Year's Day, their hair will be bright pink.
Woohoo!
That'd be pretty awesome.
Man, I would love that.
I like this one. Weird Al will be governor of Montana. Hey, if Jesse
Why
Ventura
from
can
there?
be, I don't know. Jesse Ventura can be the governor of Minnesota. Why not?
Right?
Summer will last 180 days next year, March to September.
Ooh, I like it. Bring it.
Penguins will fly. Alien spaceship will land on the White House front lawn. COVID cured tomorrow.
Oh, Ellen.
Like that.
What's that statement? From your mouth to God's ears. Or
Yes.
Love it.
I will retire at age 46.
Hey.
That'd be all right.
Go for it. We support you.
Michelle says, yes, please tell about adventures at the frozen tundra.
Uh-oh.
Martha, Nessie will be seen. Ben and Ro will get their Hogwarts letters.
Ooh, they would be so happy about that, Stephen.
Kristen, you absolutely must tell the Lambo story.
I mean, here's the dirty little secret. One of our Wonder Whimsy Society members already knows what happened because I'm not going to name names, but
that's got to be part of the story, yeah.
Well, someone I'm not going to mention her name, but someone in our Wonder Whimsy Society works for the Chicago Bears, and she has a very high position, and that's all I'm going to say. But she has access.
She is the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. No.
She has access to all the top level people at the Chicago Bears. So last night, after all the shenanigans at Lambeau Field went down, I sent her all the pictures, and she is excited to share around the team what happened there. But why don't you say it? Because now
it's going to be a show. I'm going to put it on the show. I'm going to put it maybe
next week. Should we do it at gallery night?
Next week. Maybe next week. Because I want to show the pictures. I got to get the pictures all right up.
This will make you tune in next week. You're so mean.
And actually, we have another reason to tune in next week as well.
Yes.
Obviously, we have gallery night coming up in 2 weeks, but next week we have an interview. So I don't know if anyone here remembers when Dove, the skincare company, the personal...
Not the chocolate.
The soap and lotion and personal care company, they changed the world when they did those controversial at the time ad campaigns that showed actual regular looking women, regular size, not airbrushed, not toothpick women in their ads. And we next week will be talking to one of those women who were part of that groundbreaking campaign, Stacy Nato. She is a friend of ours, and I cannot wait to have her tell you the story. She has some amazing, will make your head turn stories about questions she was asked during that campaign, because they went on a big media tour, and it was a big outreach, and now she is a speaker, and she talks to women and young girls about positive self-image and things like that. So she's doing some great work, but I can't wait to share her with you all.
She is.
I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, but we're looking forward to that for sure.
Very mission-based speaker, very mission-based person. So we're excited. The level of interviews we've been bringing to the table. She is going to be right up there with these last few that have been amazing. So please join us, and you will share the Lambeau Field story.
I will.
It'll be a good show next week as we get ready for gallery night.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Kristen. Are you okay, Kristen?
Oh no.
Are you okay?
Kristen.
I don't know if she fell asleep on her keyboard, if she dropped some. That should be next week's giveaway question, is just to type this up. Let me put this up here.
She says that's why you didn't need help to your car.
Yeah. So that's Kristen. And next week's giveaway will be, there you go.
Oh.
Here's the explanation. Cat on keyboard. Love it. Thank you.
I love that your cat enjoys the show as well, so that's pretty awesome.
All right, well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Be sure to mark your calendar for Wednesday, November 17th. Join us live right here for Gallery Night. And that is it for this show. Until next time, Adultitis Fighters.
Shine on, spread whimsy, and be awesome.